Alice Capel mention you in her video? It's in here somewhere. Oh, here.
Someone like Hasanabi tries to portray, in a way, Hasan as a
need a role model who embodies a lot of the things that they find attractive in men, like Andrew Tate, right? But in a healthy way.
That's what someone like Hasanabi tries to portray, in a way. Hasan has a deep voice, he's built, he has an expensive car, a big house. He ticks a lot of alpha male boxes while being left-wing, while being an ally. So because of how he looks, he has the capacity to get the attention of young men who grew up in more traditional households, who don't have a
Yeah, that's why they fucking spend every waking moment being like, he's gay, he's gay. He fucking wore a dress one time, he's gay. Even though I fucked their moms, you know what I mean? But that's inherently the real reason why, like, the reason why a lot of like weird left-wing people online hate me is the same reason why a lot of right-wingers online try to make me come across as like a soft boy, you know what I mean? A soy boy. It's literally because I look the way I do and I sound the way I do. So a lot of fucking, neurodivergent leftists online look at that and go, this is exactly like the fucking bully that bullied me when I was in high school. And I have no way of like, no frame of reference of like analyzing something directly without bringing in my personal trauma of being bullied by a guy that looks like him and sounds like him in high school. You know what I mean? That's it. That's the main reason. Because after all, we are lizard-brained idiots, okay? At the end of the day, we look and react to shapes and colors, okay? We don't actually look at like what someone is saying. We look at the packaging it comes in. We look at the aesthetics of a situation. And yes, the aesthetics of this situation are, what I am, who I am in real life. And who I am happens to look like a very different packaging than you would expect from the average leftist person. I try to use that to my advantage all the time. And that is part of the reason why so many people try to like. My husband on a work call and he walked in the room right after the I fucked her mom moment. I'm crying. Yeah. What you just said is literally in your King Kong magazine, second picture. Oh, they put my Instagram stories on here. You get attacked online about your own presentation of masculinity all the time. People love pointing out any photo of me cross-dressing, and it's like, wait, hold on. Here, let's look at this. And it's like, bro, I literally would fuck your mom in this dress. I'm over here looking good. I'm very confident in my sexuality. I don't give a shit. I'll cross-dress. But then guys on the internet will be making fun of me saying, dude, look at this. But I like sharing these photos. You want to know why? I look pretty goddamn good. All these straight guys want to fuck women, yet they carry on so much genuine animosity and hate towards them. I don't get it. It's learned behavior and social conditioning. It comes from a sense of entitlement for sure. Like, you're a guy, you're supposed to get this because of your gender. People have no interpersonal communication skills, even in romantic relationships. It's very difficult for people to navigate. Everything is so black and white in the PUA world. Do you feel as a young millennial guy in this world that you've had to unlearn things you were confident in your late 90s and early 2000s? Every single day, of course, 100%, absolutely. I certainly held on to misogynistic and transphobic attitudes in my youth. Holding on is a great way to put that. It makes you feel safe. I just think our understanding of gender is not correct as a society, and I talk about this avidly through the topic of transphobia. As an open-minded guy, what was it like doing your King Kong photo shoot? Do you feel cathartic for you to lose control? Dude, I wasn't losing control. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm barely an actor. Do you want me to be honest? The only thing I thought about the whole time was, I hope I look hot. I hope I look good. I hope I look skinny. I haven't seen the pics. Have you? Do I look good? I shouldn't. I'm way too honest in situations like this. How am I supposed to explain to my mom why I own a magazine with Hasan's bloody face on it? Oh, we'll do it. We'll look at this in a second. I like that they made it seem like it was a Twitch chat interview. I was texting Matty Healy and he called you so hot. He DM'd me and said that to me. He's a very funny guy. Realized this after listening to him on the Adam Friedland show. Oh God, you're into the dirtbag left? I'm friends with a lot of them. I'm closer to Felix and the Chapo boys than I am with Adam and Nick, but I love Stav. I'm good friends with Stav. We have kind of a shared audience. I think those shows only exist because people are in desperate need of an exit point community. People feel so disenfranchised and disaffected by the current political discourse. Comedy is very important. I think this liberalism monoculture that we exist under is hegemonic. There are no real focuses. People who think they're progressive end up caring about what kind of content they're consuming as a cultural signifier. We moralize content we consume. I'm into cultural critique. I'm not one of those right-wing edgelords who think that aesthetic is cool or provocative. I could never get into Red Scare. Anna and Dasha are so celluloid and performative with their intentions to act behave way. It's very off-putting to me. It's giving nothing. I know. It's like, we get it. You're an art major. You went to a liberal arts college. You live in Brooklyn. You make hundreds of thousands of dollars off your Patreon for talking into a fucking microphone 1 hour a week. You're not trad, sweetheart. I don't see you in the kitchen. You're not cleaning. Okay, they embellished a little bit. I didn't actually say sweetheart. I don't see you in the kitchen. You're not cleaning. You're not barefoot and pregnant. Wait, I guess one of them is. I don't keep up with their psychotic nonsense. I did say that. I said, I guess one of them is. Everything is always about the vibe aesthetic. Social media culture creates this vapid emphasis on images, and the number one priority always ends up being the way things look. The biggest currency in the world is aesthetic of things. The dolls are coming after you. Who are the dolls? Exactly, dude. This is a byproduct of liberalism, which is so funny to me because they think it's like this atheist liberal monoculture. This fake performative Catholicism on the internet is not unique or disruptive. Also, hilariously, if you're an adult convert, why choose the religion that's most known for pedophilia? Seriously, even Andrew Tate was like, we're going to do Islam instead. I love Red Scare, my most toxic trait, but I completely agree with this. They're insane. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I get it. It's like Red Scare is like Trisha Paytas for people who want to hear like I guess, you know, something a little bit more like only marginally a little bit more intellectual sounding. Dolls means trans girls? Wait, what? Why would the fucking dolls come after me, dude? What, come after me to fuck me? Is that why? Because I doubt that, you know, a collection of trans women would ever come after me in a sense that, like, they would be angry at me. You know what I mean? Anyway. The chat interview is a neat idea. Yeah. Your legs look great in that photo. Yeah, obviously those are not my legs. Okay, we'll get back to this in a second. Let's finish this fucking story. Positive masculinity.
A very high cultural capital, and he can then work on changing their perspective on socialism, feminism, trans rights, etc.
That's step one. Step two, a bit more feminine kind of men, other kinds of men, and then step three, women, and step four, everybody else. It's so disgusting. I am aware that I have to say this. I'm sorry, but we're looking for progress. We actually want progress. We cannot call ourselves progressives if we're not actually looking for progress.
So Shady is an activist. He looks at things very pragmatically, and while I totally agree with everything he has said, I don't like to settle for pragmatism, so I want to go a little bit deeper, to explore that a little bit deeper. I just wanted to say that what I'm going to say now does not invalidate what has been said earlier. It's just to add another layer. We need to stop going in circles and address the roots of the problem, which is that the formation of men's identity is systematically tied to masculinity. We attach moral values like kindness, self-reliance, respectability to a gender expression, masculinity. Why do you have to be a good man and not just a good person? In one of his short videos, Big Joel replied to a viral tweet that said that the reason young men flock to the alt-right is because the left gives brain-dead advice to young men. We need to be more compassionate to them, for our own sake. To which Big Joel replied that it's foolish to believe that the problem with society is that people aren't being shown the right thing, that the right words aren't being said to them, and that if we edited all those words the right
God, this fucking Big John, Little John, he's got some good ass takes.
way, came out with the right
Big Joel, Little Joel, whatever his name is, dude. Every time I see a take from him, I'm like, damn, it's not bad.
guy, would be able to fix everything. It's the same thing as believing that we can solve climate change if only every single individual could change their lifestyle. It won't happen. We can make improvements, and we should encourage people to do those lifestyle changes, but it's not enough. In his video, Big Joel said that his best advice to young men would be to do what they think is good, according to them, according to what we generally deem as good. I like the way he phrased that because he completely removed masculinity from the conversation. He talked about being a good person, not a good man. In a similar way, this person, Griffin, who is non-binary, said the following during a debate on masculinity.
My take is, my version of that is be normal. Like, in the way that you conduct yourself in your daily lives, be normal. Instead of saying good, I just say normal. Like, don't be fucking unhinged. Don't be hysterical. Don't be a bad person. Be a good person. Just be like a regular person who lives and lets others live. That's it.
Organized by Vice.
Kind of becomes like irrelevant whether or not we attribute like having like a good ethical compass to being like masculine. A lot of those things are just things that people should be doing because they're like morally right. Like if you're in a family, you should probably support your family. And I really don't think that it has to do with like your manhood.
To which another participant later replied, predictability. We love to put people in boxes. It makes life easier, decision-making easier. But is it just about predictability? Who invented those boxes in the first place and why? In his work on the history of sexuality, philosopher Michel Foucault got interested in that topic. He understood that the imposition of certain sexualities, of certain gender expressions, gender roles by religious institutions haven't always been the norm, isn't the norm everywhere. But he concluded that it made sense to want to regulate sexuality and gender expression in societies that sought to better control their population and eventually expand it, which is exactly what colonial powers hoped to do, and did, at home and abroad. So the promotion of heteronormativity, which includes heterosexuality as well as the gender binary, gender roles, is a great way to make sure that we have a bunch of self-reliant families that can make babies, that can then become soldiers, workers, all ensuring the preservation of a nation. But at what cost? How many lives have been erased, damaged because of the existence of such boxes? The answer is too many. It's ridiculous, to be honest. In the case of masculinity, toxic or positive, we continue to see how unrealistic and sometimes ridiculous those rigid boxes are. In a video he did in response to Sneaker, Noah Samson mentioned something that was quite interesting, namely that Sneaker put all leftist soy boys, as he called them, in one picture as a warning sign, you know. And it's true that when you look at it quickly, yeah, you have some people with long hair, some look a bit chubby, but among them you also have guys who lift on a regular basis, who are very fresh and fit, just like what is expected from a real rocking man. Andrew Tate said that he would rather have sex with a 10 out of 10 Megan Fox-like transgender woman than a female Hulk Hogan. And just generally speaking, I've seen a lot of people commenting on the fact that he often looks like an older
Dude, this is an absolute fucking nailer that I have brought up many times. Also, I don't know why the fuck this guy has blocked me on Twitter. I think about that every day. Well, not every day, but like every time he's brought up, I'm always like, we have a lot of the same ideas. I don't know why the fuck he blocked me. He probably has some crazy fucking block list or whatever. It's the only account. Before you say rent free, I will admit. Okay. Because you're an asshole. This is the only account that I'm like, I wonder why he fucking blocked me. Because he seems to have like a lot of good takes. The misconceptions about you are rampant. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, he's great. Why did a shit ton of subs just get ads? Man, I don't fucking know. It was a Gucci shirt? No, I don't think so. He was on True and Honest stuff. Wait, he's friends with Brace and them? That makes it even weirder to me. But anyway, whatever. But regardless, I like him. He's unhinged in a good way too. The one time one right-wing dude tried to clap back at him, he was like, I got this info directly from your tailor. Yeah. Anyway, he's great. But I agree with this. I've said this exact same fucking thing.
Gay guy. And actually, Sneeko himself said once that he had watched his girlfriend having sex with another guy, which is fine if everybody was okay with that, but that's not something that is very alpha male, according to this guy's standards. Finally, last example, I want to go back to that Vice video I showed you earlier. Just to give you a bit more context, they invited a few men with different perspectives on masculinity, what it means to be a man. This guy introduced himself. He said that he was a married father who worked in the military, and it'd be easy to assume that given the way he looks, given what he does and where he comes from, he's probably gonna say a lot of problematic things. But wow, this guy had great takes.
The thing that I see is a lot of deconstructing generational trauma. The be a man, boys don't cry, this, that, and the other thing. And I think that's actually one of the reasons why we see it as a crisis, because we're actually trying to redefine what it means to be a man, and none of us have any idea.
Yeah, bro, your unhinged followers are gonna DM him. Please tell him not to. Yeah, if you do that, you're a fucking freak. Do not DM that person to be like, why did you block Hasan or anything like that? Please. Oh my god, you guys are such fucking losers if you do that. I'm letting you know. Do not fucking do that.
Because we're just out here trying to be whoever we are.
That's right.
It was impressive to see where he came from and where he is now, and that's a real source of inspiration. He didn't change much from the outside, but changed so much from within. So you see the urge to attach the physical display or absence of masculinity to a set of moral values does not make sense, because there are so many counterexamples, even among those who are strong advocates for this or that type of masculinity. As another participant said,
the box has gotten so small for just being, say, straight, just being a hetero, right? Because if you do anything, women judge you.
What do you mean anything?
If I dance a certain way, or if I wear my hair a certain way, if I dress a certain way, they go, real men don't do that. Real men don't do that.
It is true that many people choose to take the risk to challenge gender norms in public, and it's amazing that they do that, and we should celebrate more. Like, seriously. Go and follow Elevate Man.
Wokamane, stop. Dude, that's fun. No, this person is great. Alice Capel. This is very clearly a well thought out and really good video. I can't believe you just say she's Wokamane. That's... I mean, let's keep
they're
going.
impressive. But the majority of people still refuse to step out of the box because it's too scary. Because whether it's online or in real life, someone is waiting for them to do that, to call them a pussy, to say they're gay. So to conclude, I'm quite skeptical with this concept of healthy masculinity or positive masculinity, because I think it continues to attribute more values to a gender expression. It becomes yet another box. I understand that it is convenient to use it as a point of reference, as a way to facilitate comparisons or conversations. I use it myself, but I don't see much value in it in the context of the fight against patriarchy. I believe that the existence of a spectrum from toxic to healthy masculinity too often centers on looks. It perpetuates this thing where aesthetics, looks come first and values come second. I like the way this person looks, I find them cool, and I want to be like them, therefore I want to think like them and do the same thing as them. But that's really fragile, because it means that the belief in a certain value system, in our case gender equality, feminism, mostly depends on the liking of one person. Sure, many men who were drawn to feminist values because they liked Hasanabi or Timothée Chalamet continue to do the work to strengthen their new value system, but not all men. Many just perform what seems to be cool, respectable at a given time. And if feminism isn't cool anymore, then they'll quickly shift back to another value system,
She's right.
one that can be anti-feminist. So wouldn't it be better if we ditched all the boxes, all the masculinity labels, all the masculinity role models?
For the record, I don't put this on. It's just who I am. It's just who I happen to be. And it's what I happen to believe in. You know what I mean? Like, that's it. Do I recognize that it's an advantage, especially for those who feel disenfranchised, those who are men, cishet white men? I do. I do think that it's an advantage. I like to use it to my advantage. But ultimately, it's not the end all be all. I think that, and it's not something that I'm like deliberately presenting. It's just how I look, and it's how I act, and it's how I talk, with all of my flaws as well as, the advantages, I guess. I'm not giving you. I always am trying to offer guidance when people ask me for guidance, but never telling you, like, these are the bullet points that you need to fucking follow like it's a goddamn video game. You know what I mean? A lot of what the masculinity guys do in the alpha bro space or whatever is always like, if you do this, 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 and this, you will get pussy. Like, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that you could improve your chances, certainly, and it will make you happier. But ultimately, that's what I've done, and it has helped me. I can't speak for every single person. I can only speak for myself. You attract some people with your aesthetics, but you then try to break their obsession with aesthetics all the time. Oh, here it is. Oh, my God. Okay, stop. We're going to watch this in a second. What is this? You kind of lose appeal in that way, but it's good for you? What do you mean? Hey, man, I don't even understand what you're saying. Everyone here isn't as miserable as you. What? Pussy? What is happening? Why are you guys fucking fighting each other? Stop fighting each other in the chat. It's literally a fucking daycare, dude. What are we doing in here? Anyway, good video overall.
And just focused on being good human beings.
Us as men, we have to be taught to feel. We have to be taught to feel because we cannot listen to others, anybody else, if we are taught that confidence is number one. But how are you going to empathize if you're taught not to cry, if you're taught not to feel, and if you're not taught to express, that we're only taught to be angry or to be happy? But yeah, dismantling the patriarchy and dismantling misogyny and gender roles in general is going to teach us how to feel. And you cannot listen to others actually, properly, if you can't feel, if you can't actually lower that confidence and lower that ego that we believe and we are taught is what embodies a man, what makes you actually a man, to make the decisions. Most men make decisions not out of listening to others, not out of empathy. If you look at wars and if you look at every single thing that we have, that we suffer from, it comes from overconfident men, overconfidence. And there is nothing about overconfidence that does not correlate with what we are taught is a man. And the patriarchy and the gender roles and the definition of what we call a man.
That's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. As always, the conversation continues in the comment section. Don't forget to like, to subscribe, if it's not done already. I would like to thank my patrons for their support.
XQ critical? Are they saying just not to trust you because you're jacked and handsome? Wait, what? No, she's not saying that at all. She's saying that I'm a positive. She's saying that there are examples on the left of people who like fit by the traditional standards of masculinity, of being jacked and having like an expensive car or whatever the fuck, right? And a nice house. And even then, it's not a solution to like upending patriarchal constructs, which I agree. I don't think it is. I don't think I am. I try to be a positive role model, but it's not like I'm deliberately trying to show you like a positive masculine feature or like what masculinity means. If anything, I talk about how murky those guidelines are every single time this topic is brought up. If you know anything about my conversation surrounding this issue, what do I always say? That like masculinity and femininity is our understanding of it is bullshit. And the way that people actually talk about masculinity, they're actually just talking about confidence. Okay? They just ascribe a lot of like positive traits associated with like entirely different things. Oh, that person is masculine. No, you just mean that person is alpha, which means that person is confident. Okay? That's all that it is. That person is secure. Okay? That's it. Thinks he's masculine. Yeah, I guess. The left should encourage men to value brotherhood, mood, and help each other and not just let each other drown in emotionless. What? She put you on high saying you're an ideal portrayal of a positive masculine figure, but there are others that don't follow what isn't popular, and we all know you're not everyone's fave. Yeah, I'm part of the reason why I'm not everyone's fave is I mean, there's a multitude of different reasons, but most of where this comes from is that I am on the left. If you're on the left, you're always going to have naysayers, no matter what happens. That was a great video, but I'm surprised she didn't bring up the concept of queering, as I think that's actually kind of what you're doing when you present mask, but queer, the ideologies of masculinity. Wait, really? I don't even know what that means. Sadly, most of the naysayers are on the left. Yes, and they're pathetic, disgusting fucking losers who do not care about solidarity, who do not care about community momentum, who do not care about actually moving the needle. And then there are some good people that are duped by those others who are grifters, okay? That's it. Those naysayers on the left are literally trying to do exactly what I'm doing, but in their way. And it's like we agree probably on like 98% of issues, okay? But then that 1% they try to make a big stink about because, again, it's one method that they think that they'll be able to like tap into this audience and like eat away at the market share instead of collaborating positively, okay? That's it. They just want to fucking fill their own Substack Patreon goals. That's where this comes from, okay? It's not like a legitimate criticism. I have received legitimate criticisms before. I would also say Sean's Head is a good voice on the right for deprogramming the Gamergate culture war weirdos. What? First of all, that person is not a good voice for anything. Wasn't she like, I don't know anything about this lady, okay? But I do know one thing. Okay, one, immediately, you're incredibly online. Okay, I can't believe I'm saying this because I'm incredibly online. But not only is she incredibly fucking online, and but isn't she the one that like started the whole like Balenciaga pedophile shit too, or like a bunch of other right wing ass weird things? She's a massive TERF and a reactionary. What the fuck is that person saying? I don't know anything about her. I don't want to know anything about her. I do not care. Okay. I don't care. I do not care. Please do not bring up people like this to me. I try every day desperately to stay away from subject matter such as that one. And you come in here and you try to like bring me into this. Wait, is the Balenciaga thing bad? No, but it was insane. Like people thought that the Balenciaga was doing satanic pedophile rituals, man. What the fuck are you talking about? It's just like mental illness. Bro, people were looking at like Saturn devouring his son and going, look at that. That's not art. That's pedophilia, brother. I'm like, come on, man. Yeah, she started the drag panic shit. She didn't start it, but she played a role in it. And then they cut 10 videos about the 10 seconds you talk about them. Yeah.